Hi. How was your day today? Did anyone come or call? I'm going to show you a great boondocking spot, and we're going to go to Denali National Park. So let's hop into it. After leaving Talkeetna, I got on Alaska Route 3. That's also known as the George Parks Highway, or the Parks Highway for short. It is a major highway that connects Fairbanks and Anchorage and goes through Denali National Park. And along this route, I found this rest area, which is also a campground. It's free of charge. It's dry camping, but it was a perfect place for me to park up. The rest area is divided into two sections. The front part is for day use with an 8-hour limit, and then the back part has camping. The location is convenient. The road is just up here. However, that also means that there's some traffic. A lot of buses, tourist buses pass by, and semi-trucks and cars. But it's not been really a problem for me back in the camp area. I can't really hear it back there so much because it's a little bit more isolated. So let's go take a look. I'm parked up in what I think is one of the best sites, although there are a lot of good ones. It's off by itself. There would have been room for more than one rig. For example, two Bs could easily fit side by side, and it's relatively level. There have been several other campers here while I've been here the past 2 nights. They come and they go, not had any problems. You can see there's still one back here. It's a travel trailer. And here's one of the 2 pit toilet facilities. Here, next to the pit toilet, is some parking. And this is actually parking for the campground. Just beyond the parking area are a couple of campsites. Well, it's a bit hard to see, but this is site number 3. I believe that when this facility was first built, it was more than likely meant only for tent camping. However, the parking sites are big enough for big rigs, and I'll show you even the biggest of rigs can fit. I say that though because each site has both a parking area, and then you walk back, and isn't this lovely? It has a fire pit. This one actually has a little covered area. And then there's a spot over here where you could pitch a tent. This is probably one of the larger areas. But yeah, this is, oh gosh, I hadn't seen this before. Look, there's a little charcoal grill here. You could cook out. Or like I said, each one of these sites even has a little fire pit. If you follow the path past campsite number 3, you come back to this next campsite. Look at that. And there, if you can see, site number 1. And picnic table here. And you get your own little fire pit. And a great spot. Just a great level, flat spot. Not rocky. A little bit of gravel. But perfect place for a tent. Now, back here, and I won't walk the whole way with you, but I'll take you and show you. This is the little path I was telling you that goes to look over the river. So we're going to go take a quick look at that. Let's take a look at some flowers on our way. Goodness gracious, didn't we get lucky? Oh, so many beautiful things in bloom. If you take this path, watch your step. There's lots of tree roots. and it's just been trampled down by feet. I don't think it's especially kept up by maintenance or anything like that, but we have to walk over this big tree root. Oopsie. Go. We got it. Okay, guys. Can you hear it? It's just up over this crest. Here it is. I actually could just bring a chair and sit up here and just watch it all day. I bet that at the right time of day, I might even get to see some wildlife come and visit the shores. Yeah. Let's head back and I'll show you a little bit more of the campsites. After we look at a few more flowers, that is. Okay, just across from the pit toilet. This is technically 2 sites. However, when I came in yesterday, there was a big Class A that just parked right in here. No problems. No problems at all. So if you have a big rig, Class A, if you got a Toad, anything like that, we'll go take a look at this travel trailer. There's room for you here too. They do have a couple of trash receptacles, which is always a big plus. So here's a closer look at a travel trailer. You can see, look how big the site is. You know, there's tons of room if you've got a big rig. Tons of room. There are gates, and the camping area, the wayside, is closed from September 15th to May 15th. So if you come later in the season, later in September, for example, you probably won't get to come back into the camping area. But there is space up in front in the rest area where you could park and stay for up to 8 hours. Here's a quick look at the rest area side of the wayside. Here's the sign that says you can stay for up to 8 hours. You will hear and see it's a little bit closer to the road, so there's a little bit more traffic noise. But there's a ton of space. This is the other pit toilet that serves the rest area side. And just behind it here is just a short walking path that takes us back to where I'm parked. So let's head back that way now. I got the doggos packed up and we hit the road north to Denali. As you travel along the park's highway, you might catch a glimpse of this oddity from the corner of your eye. What is it? Well, let's go look. Marking the halfway point between Fairbanks and Anchorage, you will find this building known as Igloo City. Igloo City was built in the 1970s, but can you believe it never actually opened for tourists? It was unable to pass the building codes of the time. It has had many owners throughout the years who've had visions of its potential grandeur. Sadly, however, it has yet to open to the public. It's in an absolutely stunning location. Maybe one of you would have an idea and make it come to life. The views on the ride north are absolutely spectacular, and I actually stopped several times just to get out, take a look, take a photo, take a breath. This is a little pull-off over Pass Creek. It's lovely. And here we are. Once you arrive in the park, your first stop should be the Visitors Center. There is a lot of information here, and there are many activities, bus tours, and other interesting things that you can do, including renting bikes, a dog sled demonstration, and many, many hiking trails. The Visitor Center is open until 6, and there are also toilets here if you need them. Please do be aware that if you wish to drive your own vehicle, you can only go as far as mile marker 13. If you wish to go further into the park, you may take a bus to mile 43. However, the road is currently closed after that point. The drive up to mile marker 13 is a slow and steady climb. As I ascended up the roadway, I have to admit, it was a little underwhelming once I finally got my view of Denali. The clouds hung low in the sky, covering the Great One. I was disappointed, but I can always say that I've been here. On the left is Double Mountain. In the middle, where the most of the clouds are, is Denali. And then you can't see, but behind the pines is Sable Mountain. This is the Mountain Vista Trail, and I really enjoyed it. It's a little bit over half of a mile. It's easy, and I feel like it redeemed my visit to Denali. I learned a lot about the place. I want to share it with you. This is known as the Alaska Range of mountains. Okay, so if we look straight ahead, we'll see Mount McKinley. Unfortunately, there's a bit of cloud cover. Here is another view of the mountain range. While it's a bit cloudy out today and we can't actually see Mount McKinley, it's still a very beautiful area with lots of other gorgeous sights. This is the view along the Mountain Vista Trail. None of these are actually Mount McKinley. It's a bit obscured by clouds today, but it's still very beautiful. This is a photo of the tent cabins that were used in the 20s and 30s. And the quote says, "While camp life is not pretentious, it is comfortable and permits one to enjoy being close to nature's own without enduring hardships." Those the tent cabins that once filled the valley where visitors and tourists could come, and this is what it looks like today. It's filled in. Yeah. I'm sure it was quite an experience back then to stay in one of those tent cabins. Underneath this beautiful mountain range was once the Savage Camp, where visitors in the 20s and 30s would come and visit Denali. This is a fascinating little infographic. It states that visitors have been coming to Denali by rail since 1922. and that in 1924 there were 64 visitors to the park. But after some of the accommodations were improved, visitors increased to 1,000 visitors in 1929. I would venture to guess there's 1,000 people here just today. 1 mile north of the entrance to the Denali National Park is this small area of restaurants, shops, hotels, and a gas station. And while I didn't get a great view of Denali, I did have a great day. And if you decide to come, you may want to consider taking one of the bus tours that get you further into the park and get you a better look at the Great One. Thanks for watching, and please go ahead and subscribe. Join us as we ramble on down the slow lane.